Picture this. You decide to go silent, thinking it'll make her miss you, but instead, she seems completely indifferent. You start to wonder, why isn't she reacting the way you thought she would? The truth is, silence can either work in your favor or fall flat, and it all comes down to how you wield it. It's not just about pulling away or creating distance. It's about using the power of Stoic strategies to make her feel your absence in a way she can't ignore. In this video, we're diving deep into how you can take control of the situation and make your silence speak volumes. You'll learn the key to turning every moment of quiet into a strategic move that leaves a lasting impact, making her feel more connected to you than ever before. Stick around, because this is about much more than just being silent. It's about mastering the psychology behind it and making it work for you. 1. Why silence sometimes falls flat. Silence is often viewed as a powerful tool to create distance, spark curiosity, and make someone reflect on what they're missing. But here's the catch. When not used properly, silence can easily fall flat and leave you feeling frustrated. The truth is, many people approach silence with the wrong mindset, believing that simply pulling away will automatically make someone crave their presence. They think, if I just stop texting, stop calling, she'll realize how much she needs me. But in reality, this approach rarely works as expected. Silence only becomes effective when it comes from a place of true strength and emotional independence, not from a place of neediness or desperation. Imagine this. You stop reaching out, thinking she'll feel the void. But in the back of your mind, you're anxiously checking your phone, wondering when she'll respond, secretly hoping she'll notice you. The thing is, she won't feel your absence in the way you hope. In fact, she might not even notice it at all. Why? Because deep down, she can sense that you're still emotionally tethered to her. Your silence is only effective if you're genuinely taking time for yourself and focusing on your own life, not using it as a tactic to manipulate her feelings. Silence works best when it's authentic. It has to come from a place of personal growth and self-respect, not from a strategy to make her miss you. Women can pick up on intention, and if they sense that your silence is calculated or meant to provoke a reaction, it won't have the desired effect. Instead, it might come across as immature, insecure, or even manipulative. True silence is about pulling back for your own well-being, not to spark a reaction from her. The key to making silence work in your favor is to ensure that it stems from your own self-respect and growth. When you are genuinely focused on improving yourself and investing in your own life, the silence will speak for itself. It becomes powerful when it reflects your inner strength and emotional independence, not a need for validation or attention. Without that solid foundation, silence is nothing more than an empty space, and you may find it doesn't have the desired impact at all. 2. The trap of expecting instant results. Patience is a rare and challenging skill, especially when emotions are involved. After going silent, many people fall into the trap of expecting results right away. They think, she'll realize by tomorrow how much she misses me, or she'll reach out within a week, no doubt. But here's the harsh truth. Relationships and emotions don't operate on your schedule. Silence isn't a shortcut to getting what you want. It's more like a slow burn that gradually shifts things. Consider this. If she's used to constant communication from you, it's going to take time for her to adjust to the sudden lack of contact. In the beginning, she might feel relief or even think, finally, some space. But as time passes, that initial relief starts to fade and something deeper starts to grow. Curiosity, confusion, and eventually, a longing to reconnect. This is where people tend to mess up. They start waiting impatiently, watching their phone, and hoping for a text or call from her. That mindset works against you, because it keeps you emotionally tied to her reaction. Real silence isn't about checking the clock and waiting for her to text. It's about releasing any expectations and trusting the process. Silence is not about instant results. It's about creating space that allows emotional shifts to happen gradually. If you don't see immediate changes, it doesn't mean your silence isn't having an effect. It just means the emotional impact is building beneath the surface. Patience is the key here. Silence is a long-term strategy that takes time to unfold, and those who understand this are the ones who reap the rewards. The impact of your absence will grow over time, but it requires you to trust that things are happening, even if you can't see the results right away. So, let go of the pressure to get quick results, and remember, silence works in the long run, and it's often the ones who wait that see the biggest shift. 3. How women experience silence. Differently, let's take a deeper look at how women process silence. It's a whole different ballgame than how men experience it. When a man goes silent, he often expects an immediate response or reaction. He thinks, she'll notice right away, and it'll hit her like a ton of bricks. But that's not quite how women's emotional processes work. Women tend to experience emotions in layers, which means the initial impact of your silence might not be as dramatic as you expect. At first, she might not even fully register your absence. In her mind, she's confident that you'll reach out soon enough. She knows your pattern, or so she thinks. But as the days stretch on, her certainty starts to crack. She starts to question things. Why hasn't he texted? Is he really done with me? Has he moved on? And that's when the emotional effect of your silence begins to sink in. But here's the twist. Women are generally better at hiding their emotions than men. So even when your absence begins to affect her, she's not going to wear it on her sleeve. From the outside, she may seem perfectly fine, but inside, she's processing a whole mix of doubts, confusion, and maybe even regret. You might not even notice these shifts until much later. This is why patience is so vital. Silence works because it forces her to face emotions that she's been pushing aside, whether consciously or not. It gives her the space to miss not just you, but everything you brought into her life. The energy, the attention, the connection. It's not just about missing your texts or calls, it's about missing the way you made her feel when you were present. This process takes time. It's gradual, like the rise of a wave. But when it finally hits her, it hits hard. The key takeaway is that silence can have a profound emotional impact on women, but it takes time for those emotions to surface. Unlike men, who may react more quickly to silence, women need time to process everything beneath the surface. Understanding this difference is essential in knowing that silence doesn't always yield immediate results. But when it does hit, it can trigger an emotional wave that's powerful and lasting. So be patient, because silence works. It just works in its own time. The power of focusing on yourself. Silence without self-improvement is like a car without an engine. It's not going anywhere. One of the biggest mistakes people make during no contact is sitting idle, doing nothing with their time. Instead of using that silence as a chance to level up, they obsess over whether she's thinking about them or constantly wonder when she'll reach out. Here's the hard truth. No contact isn't just about making her miss you, it's about making you someone she would miss in the first place. So, take a moment and ask yourself, what have I done to better myself since I stopped talking to her? Have I picked up a new hobby, focused on getting fitter, worked on my confidence, or am I just waiting by the phone for her to notice me? Women are naturally drawn to men who are driven, who have a sense of purpose, and who are constantly improving. If your silence is coupled with self-growth, it sends a strong message. You're not just waiting around for her, you're moving forward. And when she eventually sees your progress, Whether through social media, mutual friends, or a chance encounter, it sparks something. She starts thinking, did I underestimate him? Was I blind to the incredible person he is? Did I just let someone amazing slip away? That's the real power of focusing on yourself during silence. When your absence is paired with growth, it challenges her perception. It forces her to rethink things and even second-guess her choices. Silence combined with tangible progress creates a ripple effect that has a profound emotional impact. That's when the real shift happens, and it's the kind of impact that goes beyond just making her miss you. It makes her reevaluate everything. So, use the time wisely, keep improving, keep growing, and watch how that silence starts to work in your favor. 5. What truly makes her take notice? Here's the hard truth that most people won't tell you. It's not the silence itself that makes her notice you. It's what you're doing during that silence. If you're simply sitting around waiting for her to miss you, she might not even notice you're gone. But if you're out there living your best life, chasing your goals, and thriving in all areas of your life, that energy becomes undeniable. Women are incredibly intuitive when it comes to energy. They can sense when a man is confident, driven, and living with purpose. They can also feel when a man is stagnant, emotionally dependent, or unsure of himself. Think about it this way. Silence without substance is forgettable. It's just a void. But silence combined with growth, confidence, and a clear sense of purpose is unforgettable. It's seen in the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you interact with the world, and the way you show up in your life every day. When she senses that you've stopped seeking emotional validation from her and have instead turned your focus inward, it shifts something in her. She starts to feel your absence, but not just physically, emotionally too. She begins to wonder, why does he seem so content without me? Why does he look happier, more confident, and more at peace with himself? That curiosity starts to grow, and she begins questioning her own decisions. The key to making her truly notice you during silence is to completely shift your attention away from her and onto yourself. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself, whether that's through improving your fitness, diving into your passions, or building on your career. When you're genuinely thriving, that sense of happiness and self-assurance is magnetic. You don't need to ask for her attention because you're already attracting it with your energy and presence. She'll start to feel drawn to you, not because you begged for her to return, but because you didn't need her approval or validation to thrive. This is when silence becomes incredibly powerful. Your absence, coupled with your growth, forces her to reassess her choices. She realizes she's not dealing with the same man she once knew. He's evolved, and she starts wondering whether she made a mistake by letting him go. That's when the real impact of silence begins to work in your favor. You're not just making her miss you. You're showing her that you're someone worth missing. You've become the kind of person who thrives no matter what, and that magnetic energy will make her rethink everything. 6. Why chasing her is a huge mistake. Chasing after someone who has distanced themselves from you is one of the quickest ways to lose respect and power in a relationship. When you chase her after a period of silence or no contact, what you're really communicating is, I don't value myself enough to let you come to the realization of my worth. This behavior not only diminishes your value in her eyes, but it also reinforces her belief that she holds all the power and control in the situation. The moment you chase, you lose the mystery, the allure, and the excitement. There's no longer any tension because you've already laid all your cards on the table. She no longer has to wonder about your feelings or intentions. You've given it all away. Here's a hard truth most people won't tell you. People are inherently drawn to what they can't have, what feels out of reach. It's just human nature. By chasing her, you make yourself too available, and when you're always within reach, the desire starts to fade. The more you chase, the more you lower your value, and that often leads to her taking you for granted. So, what's the alternative? The answer lies in cultivating patience, self-respect, and emotional independence. Instead of chasing, focus on building an aura of confidence and strength. Let her come to you. When you pull back, you give her the necessary space to reflect on her feelings, to realize what she might be losing, and to question whether or not she took you for granted. It's not about ignoring her or playing games. It's about showing her that your world doesn't revolve around her validation. This approach not only preserves your dignity and self-respect, but it also makes you more valuable in her eyes. She'll start to see you as a strong, self-assured individual who doesn't need to chase anyone to feel complete. This shift in perception is powerful. It makes her rethink her choices and even wonder if she made a mistake in letting you slip away. So instead of chasing, let your silence and self-respect do the work for you. This is when the real change begins. 7. The psychological power of absence. When you pull away from someone's life, you create an undeniable void, a space that holds incredible power. Absence forces reflection. It's in the quiet moments of separation that people truly begin to grasp the impact you had on their lives. This is especially true in relationships. When you're no longer available, her mind begins to fill in the blanks. She starts replaying memories, analyzing past interactions, and second-guessing her decisions. This psychological process is often called emotional withdrawal, and it can be more powerful than you might think. When someone is accustomed to your regular presence, your texts, your calls, your attention, they've built a sense of comfort around it. The moment that routine is disrupted, her mind goes into overdrive, scrambling to figure out what's changed. She might start asking herself, why hasn't he reached out? Is he with someone else? Did I make a mistake? These questions create emotional tension and uncertainty, and it's this very tension that draws her back into thinking about you. But here's the catch. The true effectiveness of absence depends on the value you brought to her life. If your presence was enriching, supportive, fulfilling, and meaningful, your absence will be felt deeply. She'll realize that something important is missing. But if your presence was inconsistent or overly dependent on her, your absence might not leave much of an impact. That's why it's so crucial to use this time wisely by focusing on personal growth and self-improvement during no contact. The more you grow, the more your absence will resonate. When you become a stronger, more confident version of yourself, your absence becomes something she can't easily ignore. She'll start to feel the weight of your absence because she'll recognize that you were a significant, irreplaceable part of her life. This shift in perception is where the real power lies. Absence combined with growth is what makes you unforgettable. Your absence isn't just a void, it's a reminder of everything she's potentially lost, and that's when the psychological impact truly hits. 8. How to handle it when she reaches out. At some point, your silence may prompt her to reach out, whether it's a casual hey, a random question, or even a more heartfelt message. This moment is crucial, and how you respond, or whether you choose to respond at all, can significantly shape the future of your relationship dynamic. Your first instinct might be to pounce on the opportunity and immediately respond, but resist that urge. Responding too quickly or too eagerly can unravel all the progress you've made during no contact. Instead, take a moment to assess why she's reaching out. Is it out of genuine interest, or is she simply testing the waters to see if you're still available? Understanding her motives will give you clarity on the best way to handle the situation. When you do respond, it's vital to maintain a calm, confident, and composed tone. Don't jump into deep conversations or rehash old issues right away. Keep it light, engaging, and positive. If she asks how you've been, respond in a way that highlights your growth and how you're thriving in your own life. Share something exciting or interesting about yourself, whether it's a new hobby you've taken up, progress in your career, or an adventure you've gone on. This shows her that you're living a fulfilling life without her, which not only sparks her curiosity, but subtly reinforces that you're not waiting around for her approval or attention. The key here isn't about playing games or trying to be elusive. It's about maintaining your self-respect and independence. By responding confidently and with ease, you shift the power dynamic. She'll see you as someone who is secure, emotionally independent, and unbothered by her presence or absence. This type of energy is incredibly attractive. You're not clinging to the past, and you're not desperate for her attention. You're someone who values yourself, and that alone makes you infinitely more intriguing. The way you handle her reaching out shows her that you're no longer emotionally reliant on her for validation, which in turn makes you all the more magnetic. 9. Why confidence is the ultimate game changer. Confidence is the cornerstone of attraction. It's the quality that makes you stand out, and it's the one thing that leaves a lasting impression. During periods of no contact, your confidence, or the lack of it, will play a significant role in how she perceives you. If your silence is driven by insecurity or fear of losing her, she'll sense that. But when your silence comes from a place of self-assurance and inner strength, it sends a message that's both powerful and magnetic. Confidence isn't just about how you carry yourself on the outside. It's rooted in how you perceive yourself internally. Do you see yourself as someone worthy of respect and love, or are you constantly seeking validation from others? The way you view yourself directly influences your actions, and your actions shape how others respond to you. When you genuinely believe in your value and worth, that belief becomes a part of your energy. You exude a natural magnetism that makes people want to be around you. During no contact, this is the perfect time to work on building your confidence. Focus on personal growth, set new goals, and invest time in things that make you feel good about yourself, whether it's pursuing hobbies, improving your health, or advancing in your career. When she sees that you're thriving and genuinely happy without her, it forces her to reconsider her assumptions. She'll start questioning if letting you go was the right decision. It's this shift in perception that reignites her interest and makes her see you in an entirely new light. Confidence is not about being arrogant or pretending to be something you're not. It's about owning who you are, being comfortable in your own skin, and standing firm in your value. When you embody that mindset, your silence becomes a reflection of your inner strength, and that's what has the real impact. It's the kind of confidence that demands respect without ever needing to ask for it, and that's what leaves a lasting impression. The power of staying true to yourself. No contact isn't about playing games or manipulating someone. It's about reconnecting with yourself. The moment you start using no contact as a way to control or influence her behavior, you've lost sight of its true purpose. The goal of silence isn't to make her miss you or bend her to your will. It's about rediscovering your own worth and creating a life that makes you truly happy and fulfilled. Staying true to yourself means honoring your boundaries, prioritizing your own well-being, and living authentically. It's about refusing to compromise your values, self-respect, or integrity just to win someone back. When you stay grounded in who you really are, you naturally attract people who appreciate you for the person you are, not for what you can do for them or how they can benefit from your attention. During no contact, this is your opportunity to focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Dive into your passions, strengthen connections with friends and family, and nurture your physical and mental health. Take this time to grow, not just for her, but for your own happiness and sense of self-worth. As you work on yourself, you'll feel more confident, empowered, and ready to build a life that's not just appealing to others, but meaningful to you. And here's the most liberating part of it all. When you stay true to yourself, you come to realize that your happiness isn't tied to anyone else's presence or approval. Whether she comes back into your life or not, you're already in a place of strength, peace, and contentment. That's the real power of no contact. Not about trying to win her back, but about winning yourself back. You get to reclaim your personal power, build a life that's fully your own, and feel whole regardless of what anyone else does. That's the ultimate form of self-respect, and that's what truly makes you unstoppable. Closing. Thanks for tuning in. If this video struck a chord with you and you found some useful tips, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need these insights too. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more powerful strategies and practical advice that will help you transform your life. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're always the first to know when a new video drops. I'd love to hear what you think. Leave a comment below and share your thoughts or experiences. Stay strong, stay focused, and keep growing. I'll catch you in the next one.